Morning.
Good morning. Glenn, can you hear that?
Yep. Okay, so we'll kick off. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our virtual tour and information session about NECA training and apprenticeships. So let's kick off. So yeah, again, welcome to NECA. Today we'd like to just bring up this bit of information about NECA training and apprenticeships, a bit of a virtual tour of our facilities at Chullora, and give you a bit of information about electrical trade and apprenticeships in general. And hopefully after today you'll have a little bit more information, a bit more informed about students and their decisions, or if you're a student or career advisor, some more information that you can use to help each other. Okay, so here we have this is slide here. We have the first slide we've got. It's our training centre in Chullora. We have post-trade training and our Cert 3, and our NECA New South Wales operations run out of that branch. Going to another slide. So who is NECA? In case you don't know, NECA are the National Electrical and Communications Association. Probably heard of people like Master Builders or Master Plumbers. We're very similar to them, but we service the Electrical Association, electrical industry. Now, NECA are a national organisation, every state and territory of Australia. And NECA was established in 1916. Today, NECA employs has 5,300 members and employing over 100,000 people. Now, in 1988, NECA started employing apprentices in New South Wales, and that's the organisation who I work for and represent today is NECA Training and Apprenticeships. Today, there are over 800 NECA Training and Apprenticeships, or NECA EA apprentices, in New South Wales, Queensland and the ACT. In 2019, we commenced trade training for electrical apprentices out of our centres in New South Wales and the ACT. So NECA is a group training company. We, those that don't know what group training is, we hire young people and they work for NECA Group Training, who is the employer, and we find them host companies who do the on-the-job training for them. A little bit different to what used to be in the past, what most people understand as a standard apprenticeship, where you would go and find an employer, would hire you directly. You'd work for that person for your 4 years, do your Cert 3 at TAFE, and finish that way. With NECA, you work for the association, or NECA Training and Apprenticeships, which is a company owned by the association. We hire you, you work for NECA, we find you employment, we give you a host to do the training for you. We're a little bit different to some of the other group training companies in the sense that we're also a registered training organisation. Now, an RTO is a company that can do the training as well. So how NECA differentiates itself is we do a Cert 3. So instead of our apprentices going to TAFE and doing their training, they actually come to our colleges in Chullora and the ACT, and we do our Cert 3s ourselves there. Sorry, it's taking a bit of time to go from slide to slide.
She still holds up to this day. She still does.
The electrical industry offers various opportunities. There are different fields you can move into with the electrical industry, and it's really a very good foundation to build a career. You can move into commercial electrical, industrial electrical, domestic, and data communications. Now, obviously, commercial electricians may plan, and diagram electrical systems, including conduits, cables, piping often required by local electrical codes, or the electrical may work with blueprints, so plans providing general contractor, whether designing the systems or working from blueprints, electrician installs conduits, runs electrical wiring, terminators, switchboard circuits, wire instrument to control power, lighting, heating units, and air conditioning, refrigeration. Basically, your office fit outs and the likes of that. Sorry, we've had a lighting thing go out. Anyway, you can still see me. So industrial's a little bit different. Industrial electricians install, maintain, test, and troubleshoot industrial electrical equipment, mainly factories or high-rise buildings where you might be doing heavy machinery type work. Domestic electricians, basically the name says itself, it is wiring houses predominantly or housing type situations. Could be commercial or apartments and things like that. Communications is designing with communication networks, Cat5 cables, telecommunications, computer systems, things like that inside offices, homes, automation, things like that. Now, in terms of a first-year apprentice, you're looking at about $30,000 starting salary. It goes from first, second, third, fourth to 4-year apprenticeship. Salaries range from $30,000 your first year and get up to around about $50,000 in your 4th year. The Cert 3 that the apprentices do during their trade is part of a stepping stone to further study if they wish. Don't have to. But it basically goes Cert 2, which is some of the SBAT kids are doing. Cert 3, when you do your trade, you can go and do your Cert 4, which kind of specialises you a bit. You move on to a diploma degree later. So who can apply? Basically, what we're looking for is young people, 16 plus, minimum year 10. Maths is very important, and Dave might want to chime in a little bit in a minute about maths. Advanced year 10 maths is kind of the level we're looking for, or if you've got the advanced year 10 maths, that's a sort of standard that you'd sort of need to get through it. And we're open to males and females. Dave, do you want to add a little bit about the maths component?
Thanks, Glenn. G'day, I'm David Gilbert. I'm the senior trainer here at NECA Training, 122 Hume Highway, Chullora.
No, I've just had one, thanks. I've just had one, thanks.
Oh, good. Anyway, we...
I'm right, thanks.
You're right?
I'm all right, thanks.
Oh, that's okay. Anyway, basically the maths that they have to do is starts off with a bit of trigonometry, multiples, numbers, multiples of tens, and basically if they can get through their year 10 maths okay, they usually can navigate their way through their Cert 3 in electrotechnology. Basically, it will come down to them just being consistent and wanting this trade, and if they can join the dots well and they show a keen and eager attitude, they'll get through. So anything more than that you can, Glenn, if you want them to email me, I can always send some more information out or some work. Yeah.
So most people on this webinar would have my email address, although they can reach out to us via the email that the links were sent out on. So if you want questions and answers later, I'm free to take them, pass them on to Dave. I've got a couple of videos here that might be interested in. We'll run through these. A couple of ex-students or current students talking about their experiences. It's pretty interesting. So we'll run through with that.
My name's Nathan Roy. I currently work with Heyday Group as a project manager. I started with NECA in 2005. I started with Heyday at the Sydney Olympic Park project, which was working in an office fit out, a base building tower that was doing cable tray, electrical rough-in. I've moved on to airports, data centres. Later in my apprenticeship, I worked at Long Bay Jail, where we did a hospital fit out there, and we also built the new section of Long Bay Jail, which involved in-ground works, HV fit outs again, hospital grade fit out, which which was good. Another great project was the T1 departures upgrade at Sydney Airport. We did all the shop fit outs there. We added the extra section of the departures hall there. We also upgraded all the buzzway in the tunnel, which we had to keep the airport live, and that was through a night shift. That was actually a very good job, actually. Since I've completed my apprenticeship, I've stayed on with Heyday. I've been promoted through the ranks to project manager. I've completed about 5 projects, with the latest being Global Switch Data Centre. We did all the HV infrastructure there. We did the DRUPS units, essentially did the whole fit out of stage 2, which was a very good project. What I would say to someone considering electrical apprenticeship would be, firstly, it is a tough industry and it is hard. It's what you make it. So if you put the time and energy in, there's opportunities, there's room to grow. It's an evolving industry. It's essentially what you make of it.
I've got another video here. We'll run through this one. This is a young lady down in the ACT who's an electrical apprentice, just talking about her experiences.
I was working in a kitchen, learning with my hands, and I thought I might give it a try, do some work experience with an electrical trade. I like maths, and I know that that's, with all of the trades, it's the most math-based apprenticeship you can do. So I came into NECA just to have a chat and was actually offered to do a Women in Power program. It gives you a little bit of background into what's it like to be an apprentice, specifically an electrical apprentice, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. You would think there's some sort of stereotype associated with working in a trade, like it's a sort of like a manly boy group sort of thing, but while working in the Women in Power and working as an apprentice now, I've noticed that I get treated the same. It's a very kind and inviting environment to be in, and everyone's just there to learn or to work, and I'm able to use maths as well and work sort of in an intelligent field.
We've got around 5,000 apprentices that we train or employ across Australia. Only a few % of our apprentices are women. We've been looking at ways to try and encourage more young women to come into the industry to find out what it's about. Whether it's a trade or any other workforce, the workforce is so much more effective if it is a diverse workforce. We're showing that people from groups that traditionally haven't been in our industry can be successful in our industry, and I look forward to them taking on leadership roles in the future.
I was very charmed by the craftsman style. The tentative feelings were great. The front porch was fantastic.
Right. So how do, if you are a student or if you are a career advisor and you are interested or thought, all right, I want to be an electrician either at the end of this year or next year or whenever that might be, what is the process? The first step in the application process is on our website. If you go to www.necatraining.com.au, you go to our website, you go on apprenticeships. That's the page that you're going to see. That's the Apply Now page. Fill that in, send it through to us, and we get a spreadsheet of all those that applied, then we process those. And you'd have to come in for an aptitude test. Now, our recruitment times, we have 2 recruitment periods. Our major one is at the end of the year, which starts around about October, and we have a mid-year one, which starts around about May. And moving on. Maths in trade. Why is maths in trade electrical important? The diagram in front of you is what we call a basic circuit. It's what we call a series circuit. Dave, you can pop in if you want, but basically there's values there in that diagram that Dave knows all about.
Yeah, no, basically, if I can add in there, Glenn, you need to understand all the circuit diagrams, so then you can apply that to the industry. That's the basis of it. And understanding reading plans, diagrams, symbols, it's all part of our trade, and it's very important that everyone's across it. that's about it. Yep.
It's just a basically just wanted to show you guys basically how basically maths gets applied. And if you look at a circle like that and you look at the basic formulas, that's kind of where we start. So in terms of the maths aptitude testing, which we conduct some interviews. So electrotechnology is focused heavily on mathematics, and there are practice tests that you can do. We've got some links on the slide here that will take you to some of where some good aptitude tests that can be found online. But if you go to our website at necatraining.com.au, click on NECA Connect, which is our blog, and you look for the maths in the electrical trade. That's where you'll find a bit more information about that, and these links will be there on that page, so you can find them later. Okay. So we'll give you a bit of a NECA walkthrough now, and then we might take a few questions via the chat and answer a few questions, and then we'll conclude. So we'll just play this for you guys. You get a bit of a look through the whole, have a look through what we've got on. Oh, sorry. Wait.
Cornerstone of house. We dance till dawn, then on and on. Dance to the waves before the sun. We made our place and shared our home. House was our heart, our cornerstone. We stayed awake and laughed and cried. Danced like silhouettes till daylight died. We made our place and shared our home. House in our heart, our cornerstone. 1,000 tears the rivers cried. Chase the beats till music died.
That's that. So one of the things we're quite proud of is that we have about 5, been ACT, we've got 800 apprentices across our 3 regions. Being New South Wales and the ACT, we don't have stand-downs during the COVID-19, so we're pretty proud of our record of being able to maintain full employment for our kids too. So we've always put our students first. Now, Dave, can you see the Q&A?
Yes.
Okay, let's see what we've got. Guys, if you've got any questions, I'm happy to answer some in the chat box. So if you wanted to, we've got Michelle who's down in the ACT. So if anyone's on the webinar from the regions, she'll be able to answer any questions from a regional point of view. Yeah. We'll see what we can do here. You can see the chat box, Dave.
And no, the chat box hasn't come up yet.
The only thing you haven't seen is the base. Probably a dungeon, given how old
Yeah, so we've got the first question there. Do we have any regional? Oh, here we go. Yeah. Oh, it's the third one. Do we have any employees in the Newcastle area? Yes, we do have employees in the Newcastle area. They actually don't all come to NECA training. They go to Newcastle TAFE, or if they're down in the southern region, they go down to Wollongong TAFE.
What about, do you deliver the Cert 4 training as well as the Cert 3?
Yes, we do. In certain areas.
What about Northern Beaches area? Yes, we do have a number of apprentices from the Northern Beaches area. Dave, do we have any that?
Yes, we do have apprentices from the Northern Beaches area. Some of them do go to Brookvale TAFE, but now anyone coming through NECA will come through us here. So they have to travel here for their trade training. What was that one? How the students managed? 5.2 maths. I'm not too sure on the level of 5.2 maths.
What we generally find,
what's the year 10 equivalent?
Not sure, but what we usually find is that the maths, once they start practicing the maths and they get a desire to do this, they usually brush up on their maths pretty quick. If they're, we can generally help them out, and they don't just get one bite of the cherry. So if they fail the aptitude exam, they do get another chance to have another go. And we will give them some feedback of where to brush up.
And the other thing, if they're coming through our centres of excellence, then we do provide them with additional tutorial or opportunities for additional tutorials as well. So if they find that there's something inside the trade program that's maths related that they're particularly struggling with, then they can access tutorials through our schools as well.
Yes, and just to add to Michelle, we do Tuesdays and Thursday nights for catch-ups and extra tutorials.
Yeah, and in the ACT we have tutorials on Thursdays and Friday evenings.
Yeah.
If I can jump in there, my name's Tom Emilais, I'm the General Manager here. Just on the maths, it's set at about the advanced Year 10 level. So we do get some apprentices coming straight from Year 10, but the electrical maths is more challenging than most trades. And so we generally have students that have come through the HSC with more maths, but as Dave said, if they're committed to what they're doing, it's much easier to learn because it's in context. Just on the Northern Beaches question too, we've got work all over the Sydney area in particular and the capital region. So we do try and match apprentices to their area as much as possible. So a Northern Beaches based apprentice, we will try and place where works, with someone who's going to have work around that area. And as Dave said, they usually then attend our Chullora campus for their 1 day a week, but the other 4 days a week, it's wherever the work is.
Well, we could just build a little or we could actually build staircase going down. Make a choice.
So it's going to use the main floor.
Any more questions?
Is that just background noise or is someone actually trying to ask a question?
I think it's background noise.
Yeah.
There's some interest in the videos, Glenn. You can.
Yeah, that's okay as well. So what we'll do with the video, it's being recorded. We will edit this video and we'll put it up on our YouTube channel, and we'll send the link out to everybody once it's up.
Hi, it's Janine Smith, Careers Association President here. Just wondering if you saw the note from Sandy explaining what Year 10 Maths is about there. So yes. 5.3 is the advanced and 5.2 is the standard, and 5.1 is the usually the level where they don't recommend doing maths at Year 11 and 12 level.
Yeah, if we look at the areas that people sometimes fall short in when they do the pre-selection test, trigonometry, transposition, Pythagoras. So they're often concepts that aren't that difficult, or the students have learnt previously, but then it's been a couple of years since they've done it. as we said, if you're learning that in the context of a trade that you're interested in, a job you're doing, they can pick it up quite quickly. So we've taken, focused apprentices from a fairly low maths level with the supported tutoring, and they've successfully got through. But we do have that initial literacy and numeracy test just to make sure they've got the aptitude to get through the compulsory theory component. Beyond that, we're much more interested in applicants who are good with their hands and interested in a hands-on job and working as part of a team and so on. We're not after someone to get 100% in the maths, but we do need them to be able to have the minimum level to get through the compulsory theory.
And Tom, just adding to that, if they're not so successful in the first attempt of the aptitude tests, that doesn't to say that they can't come back and reapply again. So in other words, maybe go away, get a bit of tutoring, and then come back and resit it again.
That's right, and we'll even let them know which areas they fell short in, and we've had a number of really good apprentices come through who second bite of the cherry had brushed up on that, and then obviously they get off and racing once they're in the trade.
Cheryl has an interesting question. What other selection criteria do you conduct to screen potential employees' apprentices?
Yeah, so the initial pre-selection testing is just literacy and numeracy, and that's set at that sort of minimum level. Then we move to an interview stage. So they'll send us a CV, we'll review that and take them to interview. From there, we're looking for, well, I guess the same thing that most employers are looking for, people that are going to be committed to it, kids that have come through and had a part-time work experience, part-time job, generally pretty good because they've shown that they can turn up on time and be reliable. Students that have worked as part of a team too. So even we get a lot of good applicants, for example, that are playing a team sport. They tend to be better than someone who isn't. But look, we look at, there's no sort of hard and fast rule. We'll look at the best apprentices we've had in the past, what are their common characteristics, and then we look for similar characteristics in new applicants.
Okay. No more questions? Okay, I think we'll take one more question. Then anybody else want to ask another question? Nope. Okay.
Yeah, Glenn, I'll just jump in and say, look, thank you to all those that have come online. It's the first time we've tried this. I know with careers fairs and things all suspended at the moment, it's hard to make contact. So we appreciate your patience with us as we're trying the new technology, and hopefully that's been able to convey some useful information to you, or at least open the door. So if you've got more questions, want to come and have a look or something like that, then you can reach out to us.
Good.
Thank you, everybody. I hope you got some value out of it today. And I'll certainly be emailing you the links to the videos and the information. And feel free to reach out to me. You all should have my email address. And we're always here to help you guys out. Okay, thank you, guys.
Sorry, Glenn, there's a quick question there from Jane about driver's license.
Yeah,
some employers do have that compulsory. We don't. A lot of our jobs, particularly in Sydney, are around, for example, in the CBD. So someone without a driver's license, we'd place them at a site where they can get to by public transport. And obviously it gives them more options once they have it, but we've got nearly 800 apprentices. So we've got the capability to accommodate someone without one. Otherwise that would rule out 16-year-olds, for example. So yeah, that's not a showstopper.
And it's a little bit more difficult in regions, given the general lack of public transport. However, the apprentice does have a means of getting to the work site on time, then absolutely a licence isn't compulsory.
Okay, that concludes our webinar information session. Again, thank you, everybody. And we'll certainly be in touch. Okay, bye.
Excellent.
Guys.